The Acolyte. Underwhelming or adequate? Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome back to M Cubed and Sidetrack. We're going to put this up on Sidetrack in a little bit. And welcome, Nick over here. How you doing, my friend?
Great. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
So yeah, we're talking Acolyte, episodes 1 and 2. And we do apologize for the very long technical difficulties. We did not figure out said technical difficulties, but we will in the near future, thankfully.
Long awaited for sure, but glad to be here all the same.
Yeah, but let's talk it. There's not a whole bunch to talk about, but there is a decent chunk, and we have some good bullet points over here off to my left, so that's nice. While y'all are at it, real quick, just don't forget to do that good stuff, and let's roll the intro. So howdy. It has been a minute. Been to Africa, been to Texas, been back from both. Nick and I are doing a show right now. I'm directing and producing a fringe play. So there's just a lot of stuff going on.
It's a lot of good, clean, wholesome fun, my friend.
A lot of good, clean, wholesome fun. And that clean and wholesome is scratched out for a reason. So if you're in Los Angeles or want to live stream that show, talk to me. We got you. We got you.
We'll be talking.
Hair is longer and hat is larger. Hey, well, of course, man. Of course, Mark. Good to see you. Glad to see you. It's been too damn long. But very good month away, I guess. Yeah, the tech issues were awful, but we didn't figure them out. We will though. We were trying to stream simultaneously to Sidetrack as well, but StreamYards is just not playing friendly with us today. We're gonna play around with some new features here in the upcoming weeks, so y'all keep your eyes out for that. It'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, hopefully Melvin will pop in at a certain point, and I invited a couple other people, so we may or may not get them. If we don't, we're going to trudge through, and if we do, we're going to trudge through.
One way or another, we will get through it.
Let's jump into some Acolyte. Just initial thoughts, brother. What were you thinking about it?
So, I mean, we spoke right beforehand about it. Just an initial thought of like the main characters and the storyline. I was very underwhelmed, my friend, to say the least. How about you?
No, that's the same exact thing. I really underwhelmed. I didn't know what to expect, so I didn't have high expectations by any means. And it's not. I have zero qualms with it. I don't think it really is bad anyway or anything like that. There are some like technicalities I would probably change if I were the writer or the producer or whatever the hell.
So
there always is.
I'm talking specifically the first episode, just in terms of storytelling. Like, I get it. You want to try and set the tempo with killing off one of the master Jedis of that planet to kind of set a message. But at the same time, it's Carrie-Anne Moss.
Yes. Oh God.
There you go. Yeah, I know. I had to say it for you, but yeah, what's your thought about it? You seem a little emotional.
Acolyte. Yeah. More like Echo Shite. Oh God. Actually, okay. I really don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad, but it pissed me off unbelievably the second that they killed off Carrie-Anne Moss. Spoilers down here below, of course. It says it. But it's Trinity. She's one of the reasons I even clicked to watch the show and was partially excited or excited at all to watch the show. I was like, all right, well, it's Star Wars. I'll give it a chance one way or another. Oh, it's Star Wars with Trinity. I'll give it a chance. And they killed Trinity in the first scene. Quite literal scene. Chaz and I were watching it the other day whenever it came out, the other night, and audibly, I think that sentence audibly came out verbatim, and I was like, they just killed Trinity. She's why I watched this show. And there are other actors: Daphne Keane, Dean Charles Chapman, Lee Jung Jae. Yeah, Lee Jung Jae. I can never say his name right. I just want to
Lee Jung Jae. Yeah, Soul. I like Charlie Barnett just because I mentioned you. I met him.
Yes.
The only person on the cast that I've met. So I'm like, oh, Charlie Barnett. I was watching it. Here's the thing. I didn't look at any of the commercials or the previews of Acolyte because I wanted to go in knowing nothing. The only person I knew that was in it was Daphne Keene because she was X-22
Yep.
in the Marvel universe. And Carrie Ann Moss was just a happy surprise. So I was making food as I was starting the first episode. I was like, oh, I paused with everything that I was doing because I noticed it was Carrie Ann Moss Trinity from the Matrix. I was like, oh, okay. And then as soon as they spoiler alert, like 5 minutes into the first episode, she's no longer in the series anymore, to say the least. I went back to cooking. I was like,
I
oh,
went
okay.
back to
All right. So that was my attitude towards, going into the rest of it.
hard not to see her Trinity in that scene. Really though, and all of the frickin'
Mhm.
what word am I looking for? All the marketing tools, all that kind of stuff. When she's out there marketing, she said, "Oh, I've been so excited to get back into action. I'm so excited to be in an action show. I got to do a lot of
Yeah.
action, and I'm waiting to see that action because she had a very action packed few moments that she was
Yeah,
on
it was
screen,
great.
and it was definitely Trinity like, and it was really cool.
It was all Matrix, dude. It was all green lightsaber and everything.
Yeah, I really liked it. I we can kind of cut around this and go back to it. It was okay, really. The action was probably the highlight. The action really was the highlight. Um, we mentioned this a little bit before the stream, and we can circle back to it whenever we'd like to. But something that I'm worried about with this series totally is kind of a Book of Boba Fett syndrome in the sense of is everything going to be backstory that we're actually interested in, and then the actual story that's being told right now because it seems like all the cool stuff and all the fun stuff happened in the past, and we're waiting for flashbacks and stuff like that.
Right.
You don't hire Dean Charles Chapman from Game of Thrones from 1917 to play Master Torben and kill him off immediately in the second episode, same way you do Master Andara in the first. Those are two of your biggest stars, two of your biggest draw points for the show in general. Like you've got a Game of Thrones king, and then you also have Trinity. Like you just don't get rid of those, and obviously they're going to utilize them more in other episodes later on.
So yeah, they'll probably be back in flashbacks. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But do you think that's going to hurt the show in the same way Book of Boba Fett felt like, hey, give me one full season with two halves or something like that. Give me the first half, give me the second half. Like this is it just obviously doing flashbacks works really well if it highlights something that character is going through in the episode, so on and so forth. But if we end up only being interested in the flashbacks, do we run into in the future something like I mean that's if this gets continued, if it doesn't get canceled, renewed, all that kind of stuff. If another season were to happen, do we end up being like Arrow, where the flashbacks by season 3 are the only thing we're actually interested in? And oh great, now the modern time kind of sucks, like Book of Boba Fett and Arrow are the two examples where I'm like I'm worried about the show because I don't really truly have qualms with it. There's nothing I like. Sure, I could find some things to change. I just don't have qualms with it at all.
I see. You're trying to figure out the direction of which the show could go forward with,
I don't think
them relying on flashbacks. Do you think they're relying on flashbacks too much?
We haven't seen a flashback yet either, though. So
we will, 100%. Everyone's talking about, I'm so sorry for what we did, and I mean, one of the masters. Really see more of carrying it. Yes, exactly. I mean, both of those masters had some connection to May, and what was the other one? What was the other one's name?
Torben or Andara?
No, her twin, May's twin.
Oh, Osha, the good one.
Osha, yeah, Osha. Yeah. So, what happened to May? What did they do to May and Osha? It's revolving around the sister storyline, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what happened to them as kids, and something failed, as they couldn't be Jedi, right? They couldn't be Jedi.
Well, one of them trained as a Jedi. The other they didn't take to train and thought died in a fire of some sort.
Right.
So I guess we have one ex-Jedi and one that grew up abhorring the Jedi in a way and found some Sith people and is now training to be an
acolyte. From May's perspective, oh, you took my sister to be trained and left me for dead. kind of aspect of it is a good reason for her to start killing the Jedi. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. No, I think it's actually great reasoning behind the character. It
it's
makes
great
perfect sense.
motivation for whoever's manipulating her too,
Yeah,
whoever's controlling her.
which we have Jodie Turner Smith, I believe. I believe that's her name, or Jodie Smith Turner, one of the two, something like that.
Yeah,
She's playing a villain in here, and she was in. Oh my god, I loved it a couple years ago. She's a great actress. She's been in a few things recently. She was in a movie with Daniel Kaluuya that I cannot think of the title of right now. That I was one of my favorite movies of I think 2019 or 20.
yeah.
But she's definitely playing a more villainous role. We saw in the trailers. I guess you haven't seen the trailers. She just the only thing I'll give you from that is her character is she looks more like undergroundish. And they mentioned Nar Shaddaa. I kind of want to say that she might be from Nar Shaddaa, which is a really good greasy, grimy underworld type of area, like more so
Uh-huh.
than Underworld of Coruscant. So that would be cool, but I have no idea where they're going, and I guess where the questions have been posed to us, I haven't been intrigued enough to truly want to find the answers to those questions. Maybe talking about it right here is kind of making me a little more excited about it, but it's
Yeah.
taken 2.5, 3 days for me to even get that
Ponder the
excited.
question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I guess we kind of just broke down the first episode a little bit. I mean, they're what do you think of the High Jedi Order right now? Right? It's what is it? What are they called? Just the Jedi Order?
It's the High Republic, I guess.
The High
Is
Republic.
technically.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You see, we do get to see like the Order still together, and these new younglings being trained instead of being slaughtered, which is a huge plus.
For now.
I think for scene. I think scenic wise, they did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I think. I mean, the frickin' series did get double the budget that Obi-Wan Kenobi show got, and you can tell. And I
Everything
think it looks
everything froze for a
great.
moment. Yeah.
Production quality is good. I think everything is good in that aspect of things, for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, the second, yeah. So where do we start in the second episode? So they have her in custody, right?
Mm, and
Okay.
yeah. Real
And
quick,
they're
that little
trying.
robot is what Disney are trying to sell a bucket load of. It's the new Grogu, but crap. What
Oh
did
my God!
real quick? What
Yes,
did you think about the little Pip droid?
I thought it was a little nifty, but like I don't. I
What is
mean,
the purpose of that droid? I kept
a
thinking
tool
like,
droid, a droid that's just it has sentience, but it doesn't do anything. It can't move, right? You have to operate it, right?
it reminds me of the droid from not the droid, the little robot from Rick and Morty that just is the butter
What is
thing.
my purpose? You pass butter. And
Oh,
yeah, so I think the whole purpose of it is once she puts it into a console or something, it'll hack it for her. It'll just listen to her, but she has to do it herself. So it's all do it her own kind of thing. Travel light. I don't know. I guess that's why she has it. That's why it's useful.
I get it, but I also don't get it. You know.
If you're thinking of it from a marketing perspective, it's not going to sell. It
No.
might sell to fans, sure, as a collector's item, but like this isn't gonna sell to the mass populace. But that's
Well,
just
I mean,
me.
okay. I guess if I did have a qualm about the show, um, it would be that everything feels like a trope. It feels like the writing is like, okay, well, what kind of trope from these movies can we put in here? What kind of Star Wars trope that's always here that we
Yeah,
can kind of put in here? And that would be my only, I guess, gripe with it so far. Is it just doesn't it is original. It just doesn't feel. It just reminds me of a conversation that I was having yesterday.
yeah.
But I'm trying to put the right word into it, I guess, where it is original and it does feel original, but it also inherently doesn't.
Lacks. it lacks the original magic. I'm just saying. That's
Yeah.
go ahead.
Like, yeah, the magic aspect of that is not there. The creative, I guess, juice has not been juiced onto this. It's lacking its morning fruit juice. I don't know.
I agree. So to put what you put into words,
Please.
I'm trying to. I think it lacks a lot of mystery with the Force. I feel like they could, or like I think of it as like a magician. You don't expect the Force to just happen at the least expected moment. Like at the highest peak, you need the like there needs to be an intense moment to where you really need to rely on the Force, and it comes through. Like Luke when he's hanging up upside down to get the freaking lightsaber, right? That's like life or death situation. I didn't quite feel that with this show, especially with like I know in the first episode you killed Carrie Ann Moss with having her decide whether or not to save a life or save her own with using the Force, but I don't know. I think I needed a different lightsaber battle. Or
Okay. Well,
I think
we'll
I
get to
needed.
that in a second. The force aspect of stuff, just real quick, was I
Mhm. Go ahead.
actually you keep going because I totally brain farted
Yeah.
there. I had
I
something.
think
Great,
after
right?
that tiny little stab, she could have gotten back up and kept fighting. Carry on, Moss. I think the fight should not have ended there, especially for a master. Yeah, I get it. You want to send a message to the audience like she chose to save another life besides hers as a Jedi. But like I think a Jedi Master as herself could put up more of a fight, especially when people like Qui-Gon Jinn, who have been stabbed through the chest with the lightsaber, and other people who have been stabbed by a lightsaber, thanks to the sequels,
Yeah.
proves that these Jedi Masters could have survived. I mean, was it a tipped dagger? Was it, I don't know, was it laced with something? Come on, you got to give us a little more than just
Well,
a tiny dagger.
they'll tell us that in 4 years in the annex of some book, and they'll be like,
That's
"This
what
is
I'm
why."
saying, dude. There needed to be more there, I think. If you wanted to take down a Jedi like her, show a little more force use. Show her power. Listen, this is what you need to do. Show a lot more power with her, and then have the writers let May win. Like
Yeah.
somehow show, yeah, just have her win somehow to show like how lethal she is, how sneaky she is. But I want to see like I wanted to like oh my gosh, like
I,
it could have been so much better.
I think that kind of plays into the underwhelming aspect of it. Is like, don't don't just like you just said. We've seen so many people just survive. We've seen Sabine survive. Qui Gon's the only guy we've seen get stabbed by a freaking lightsaber and not
Mhm.
survive. So like,
Yeah,
I mean, we have countless different examples of that in canon now, which it's like, all right, okay, that's there now. We're kind of dealing with that. You can't now show us one person dying from one little thing like that. Now, if May were to use the Force right there and pick up 3 daggers out of her boot or whatever it might be, and use that to fling all 3 at her, hey, 3 in like a little thing, you know what? You got me. She's probably dead, you know? Uh, and the other thing that I think I was thinking of that I brain farted on a second ago about the Force was the perfect moment. We got the little Force. All right, we're gonna test your brain kind of deal. Why would Master Soul, whenever he meets Osha in the first episode, and of course you got to get your plot points going, but it just doesn't make sense from a Jedi perspective to say, all right, you're either lying to me or you're not. There's one very easy thing that he could do is say, hey, if you block me from looking into your mind right now, I know you're lying to me. If you don't block me and allow me to go into your mind and figure out what you've been doing the last couple of days, da da da, and literally that shows you Master Soul has a strong force sensibilities. It would say Osha is the good girl. She's definitely not the person that just killed that person, even though we just saw that same individual kill somebody. It would do a lot for us in a story standpoint wise, and I don't know why they didn't do something like that. like you just said, it's just underwhelming, and the actions that they take do make sense, but they're not to the degree that they should be. And like we just said, if they spent double the money on this that they did on
So
Obi-Wan, show
yeah,
us some cool stuff.
I've also seen interviews with some of the Acolyte actors, and they have no knowledge of Star Wars, or they pieced it together wrongly or incorrectly. Like, oh, Darth Vader killed General Grievous or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just you know that's wrong from a as a Star Wars fan, you know that's wrong. But I'm like, why are you hiring people who don't know the story, who don't know the like what's his name? We were talking about it the other day. The Darth Maul actor, the Star Killer actor.
Sam Witwer. He's a
Yeah,
genius. He
yeah,
knows Star Wars like better than the
he
back of his
was.
hand.
So yeah, for those of you who don't know, he was the animated Star Killer in the Force Unleashed, Force Unleashed 2, and everyone's trying to figure out why he was meditating so harshly, like so intensely, right? And he was saying, well, he's trained by the Sith. They're not going to tell him how to meditate, so he's trying to figure out how to piece everything together and mash it together so angrily and so forcefully, that he doesn't get it. And that's what a fan is. That's someone who's made a narrative for himself. I mean, subconsciously, and who already knows like his master's Darth Vader. Like stuff like that. He's done the research. Some people don't, and it shows.
It shows in a big way, like because he's a fan, and he's legitimately he's a great actor. That's just such a good actor perspective, and the fact that so many of these actors, it feels like they just refuse to go in there and learn lore. Like you're getting paid and not necessarily enormous amounts of money, but good money to go be in this cool universe that everyone wants to be a part of to some degree. Why would you not take the time just to learn a little bit more about that universe? I just don't get it.
So I think with the Jedi, which I noticed is different from the movies, Obi-Wan once said, feel, don't think. And I think a lot of like the storytelling in Acolyte is them just telling what we do is like, hey, if you're not going to tell me what you've done for the past couple of days, what you were saying. Sorry, I'm trying to connect something here. I'm just saying,
Well,
like,
it's kind of like the old Yoda adage: just do or do not. There's no try. Don't overthink it. Just do it. Just if you know your stuff, do it.
What I'm trying to say is some of the dialect in here doesn't even need to be needed. It's like when they're talking about it, it's like, you think she's still alive, right? He could just be like, I think it's because he just learned English like a couple, like you said, 4 months ago.
Just comment. I was
response. The response time, I think, is another thing. Like, actor plays Soul doesn't speak or understand English. Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna save it for a little bit. We will go back up in these chats and go over some of the things everybody's saying real quick in a moment. And I love Lee Jung Jae. So don't get me wrong. I love Lee Jung Jae. He's an amazing actor. I can't wait for Squid Games 2. And he's amazing in Squid Games, and the other things that we've seen him in, which is not a whole bunch, are excellent as well. If you're hired for Star Wars, do not start learning English 4 months before your role, which is exactly the time he said. 4 months before I started filming, I started learning English, worked with 2 dialect coaches, and 2 new dialect coaches came with me and stayed with me on set and helped me form the character. That's really cool. That is great. Start learning English a year beforehand. If your whole thing, you're in negotiations for these things. The second you start negotiations, honestly, the second you have Squid Games as big as that, you should probably start learning English so you can truly become an international star. He is, so he might as well really bank on that and learn English. That's a whole different topic. But to be hired by a project this large, to this scale, and to have to, it's just obvious. It takes me out of it. I love the guy as an actor, but every single scene he's in The Acolyte, I'm like, all right. So it's just you can see the methodical thinking. It's not his character's not thinking about what's going on.
Yeah,
it's him as an actor thinking about, how do I say this in English? And you can see that with his eyes. It's like his eyes are thinking about what he has to say next instead of actually what's going on in the scene. And just from the acting perspective that we have, you can see that we're trained to look for that kind of stuff. And
now that sorry, you made the connection to Squid Games. I wasn't even looking at them like that. I didn't connect that they were the same character for a second. But
yeah, same.
now that you have opened my mind to that, I saw so much raw emotion in Squid Games versus here. If you haven't seen Squid Games, but know this actor, go watch it, and you'll see the difference. Okay.
Just that one kind of not mean because it's just a little I guess clip. A clip would be the best way to say it of him. In Squid Games where he's looking up at the camera and has that little weird smile. Like just the amount of emotion in that 1 3-second clip is more emotion than at least 2 episodes of the show so far. I'm hoping it's not a full season, but at least 2 episodes. Squid Games is great.
Yes. So yes, Lee Jong-jae. He's a phenomenal actor, writer, director of Squid Games. And now that you put that image of him into Acolytes for me, I'm thinking, oh, this could have been better. It's great to see him in it. Great that he's doing a lot more roles. I like it. Expanding. This may have been rushed. This is rushed. If he had spent a little more time with it, I think he would have tackled it a lot better.
And I mean, that's to say, if it gets to season 2, which hopefully
it will be better,
it's good enough, and that it does get renewed, and we do get a season 2, because more Star Wars, I'm a happy camper about, especially if it's good Star Wars. It needs to be good first and foremost, of course, and then if they do have that, then he has an extra year or 2. That means he would have had a year or so of going to press junkets, talking to people all the time. That's a lot of time to practice English, and a lot of people that are more lenient and willing to help you get to a better point too, which is great. Just don't start learning a language for something I mean, don't not do it. Hey, hell yes, good job, congrats on getting the role. Do it like it's just it sucks when. It sucks from an acting perspective. If I were him and I were trying to learn Korean and go do a Korean show, I would want to give myself more time than that, because if I'm watching myself back on tape or as the show airs, it would totally just it would kill me to see myself thinking about the lines and not what I should be thinking about in scene per se.
In the moment, yeah. Right, it does take away from the moment. And if you use just a fan notice it. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a fan, not knowing the actor, not knowing that, he just, learned English 4 months ago. How do you feel about the show in general?
Yeah. If he's not invested in the scenes that he's in, and he can't be, he doesn't know the language that they're written in, much less being able to speak it. If he can't be invested in the scene, why would we be as an audience?
Okay. Moral of this is not just him entirely. There's other aspects of the show that are just not adding up or to our liking. I know people say that Star Wars fans are always divided, but there are some amazing shows that can we name a couple, like the end of Star Wars, the Clone Wars, Bad Batch,
Rebels is my favorite thing ever.
We got Rebels, we got The Mandalorian season 1, 2, and 3.
There's the Jedi Visions. We got a bunch of great stuff.
Filoni over there doing whatever he wants, and he's doing great things, man. George Lucas's protege.
So good.
Those are great. That's great stuff that all Star Wars fans can get a part of. So I'm just saying, it is hit or miss for certain shows. We're only 2 episodes in. I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt that it will get at least a little better. And I want to see some real Sith. I want to see some real opponents. There's a lot of Jedi in this, and they're starting to kill them off. I'm like, all right, this is just the apprentice. All right, where's the master? Where's the person controlling May?
Well, okay, let's jump in on the dark side aspect of stuff real quick, but let's just catch up on chats super quickly while we're at it. Howdy, Justin. I caught some of your stream the other day. It was really fun. I I know what you think about this, and I'm kind of leaning more and more that way. I don't want to. I want to like it, man. Let's just give me something to like. That's what I'm looking for. Do you think Wookiee Jedi is smoking Star Wars equivalent of weed in his hippie hut in the woods? Mark, if any of us lived on Kashyyyk in the middle of the woods by ourselves,
I
we
think you have a force wielding. What is it? Wookiee.
meditative hippie Wookiee.
A force sensitive Wookiee here. Honestly, that's like the best combo you could ever get in the Star Wars universe. Like, no one's gonna mess with you. This is a fully grown Wookiee master, right? Yeah, right. Oh my god. And they live for what, hundreds of years? Probably. Yeah. I mean, the intelligence of Yoda just and can rip your arms off.
And throw you across the room with your arms, like without your. I don't know what I was trying to say there, but something extremely violent and something that is insane strength.
So you know how there are different kind of bears in the woods, right? So you know how there was General Krell. Okay, think of General Krell as a black bear, and think of this one as a brown bear. This one might give you a chance to run away, but at the same time, can still rip your arms off all the same.
Honestly, I don't know who would actually win in a fight between that species. What is the species? Pong Krell and then Jexter Dex is part of it as well. Anybody know that?
Let me look it up.
Because they're freaking huge and strong, and they live a long time too. Technically, Dexter Jex from Attack of the Clones should still be alive, or is alive currently in the High Republic time. So I don't even know about that one.
Basilisk.
The what?
Basilisk. I guess a force sensitive Basilisk male. Pong Krell ascended to the rank of Master in Jedi Order by the time of Clone Wars. Yeah, look it up. Bisa, like Besa, list. Kind of like a basilisk. Sounds like from Harry Potter. Basilisk.
Okay. Yeah, I bet. Okay, I see. Yeah, Dexter Jackson, him.
Yeah.
I don't. That'd be a good little like, just food for thought for a little bit. You know, if someone ever did like a video on that, that'd be cool. Maybe we might have to one day. I don't know. But
do you know how they did Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Empire? They do like Tales of the Republic, and like how they go and recruit some of these younglings, right? And they do a Krell backstory, and they get him as a kid, and they show his descent into like the Separatist hands and his deception and whatnot. I don't know. I'm just saying they did one with Barriss. I mean, sort of her end story in the Empire or Tales of the Empire.
I still haven't seen Tales of the Empire, which is bad, but oops.
You haven't seen it, but
no, I haven't seen Tales of the Empire yet. I've seen Tales of the Jedi, but not Tales of the Empire.
I would watch it just for Barriss, dude.
Okay.
I watched it.
I love Barriss. And you said it was a bunch of good Inquisitor stuff too, right?
I thought, it was cool to see more Inquisitors, underutilized Darth Vader, as always. You know, we need more Vader, dude.
We always need a little more Vader.
Like Rogue One had a good balance of him. We needed that version of him in Tales of the Empire, but we didn't. We got a glimpse of him, and it sucked.
Really?
He enters a room with the Inquisitors. You get to see the Inquisitor that Ahsoka kills. You get to see him, that scarecrow-looking guy. You get to see him for a little bit. You see the others, and Barriss is one of them. And then she ends up, like, I don't want to give, like, too much away, but you should watch it.
Okay. Yeah, I need to do that this weekend, hopefully, honestly. But I think season 3 just aired, too, and I'm going to spend some time on that this weekend.
I will say it's worth a rewatch, in my opinion. I got to rewatch it after Acolytes.
Oh, yeah.
Acolytes okay, so I want to see where... Okay, look, here's the thing. talking about the end of the second episode, where they leave us with the Force Master Wookiee. I was a little underwhelmed. I'm like, okay, not much to leave us like left with, you know.
Yeah.
I need more. I need more of a cliffhanger.
Yeah, don't dangle the freaking carrot in front of my face and not make me want to run. You know, like don't
Right.
give me something to hold on to, give me something to latch on to, and there just isn't really something to do that. They
You know what they
tried
should
a
have
little bit
done?
with
I think they should have done that last scene at night with those guys showing up, and they start messing with the stuff, and then stuff starts to shake. Right, all the stuff around them starts to shake, slowly vibrating, and then it starts flying away from them. Like they have no idea, like a kind of a horror movie, and then they start to run away, and then they run straight towards them, and you just hear a Wookiee start screaming, and then a lightsaber ignite, and then they just start like, I don't know, you just hear like terror in the night. I don't know.
that's what I would want to see, especially with just the like you said, it feels like a horror movie with the terror aspect of just this is a hulking being that is twice the size
This
of
is
a human.
a Wookiee master who doesn't want to be messed with, right? Obviously, that's the message they want to get across. Do it at
Basically
night
hiding
where
in the
where
woods.
people normally try and rob people, not midday. No offense. But, I'm just saying you can make it a lot more
Interesting and just
mystical and terrifying.
mystical. There's
And then
literally
at the end, like literally at the end of it, those people run away. The Wookiee just could chuckle, like I got him, like I don't know.
so one of my gripes earlier was the fact that it feels like everything is. There's always a bunch of tropes in Star Wars. There's tropes in everything. Great. That's we kind of run through them like we do metaphors in the sense of our brain just kind of picks up on it. It's like, okay, now we're on this. I like that. We know this track. It's I feel like this show is just so many tropes packed into one in a lot of ways, so far at least, that it kind of ends up being too safe. Does that make sense? Like the show didn't take risks in that in
Yeah.
a storytelling sense, and you
Uh-huh.
can definitely feel that because there's nothing going on. There's nothing to like get you.
Yeah.
There's just nothing there. Oh, real quick, Justin said they did Bears wrong in Tails. Oh, now I got to go check it out. Now I'm intrigued. Uh, you're in town this weekend. Let's watch Tails this weekend.
Sure. Yeah, I'll watch it again, man.
Hell yeah!
We'll get your live reaction. Why don't we just do that?
We could do that. We could do that. Uh,
I know we do afterthoughts. Why don't we do during thoughts? Like
yeah, we wanted to do
live
which
thoughts.
is why I was so pissed off about all the tech issues with this stream this morning was because I tried to do that for the watch party for the Acolyte on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Realized, oh wait, didn't set the YouTube up with the StreamYards for whatever, so I had to wait 24 hours to all that, and I was like, great, okay, here we go. And then it wasn't set up right in general, and I don't get that why we weren't on both sidetrack here, and then I was just trying to do like an alternative freaking channel somewhere. I was like, I didn't click this one. I don't know what it's doing. But anyway, yeah, we'll watch it this weekend, and we'll give some insights on it because I don't know if Chaz has seen it either. So we'll do the three of us. Honestly, that'll be easy.
Yeah. All right. So if I had to rate each episode individually with 5 stars, I'd give the first one, I'd say a 3 out of 5. I was, for the action, for the scenes, for the scenic parts of it, I took away a star for storytelling and just, leaving us left with wanting more. I feel like they didn't leave us with that. In the second episode, I give it the same 3. I give it about 3 stars, just because there's no good cliffhanger. The story did progress in a way that I liked, but I didn't get enough action for me. No, not enough action. She tried to kill Tobin, Master Tobin, and he just ended up drinking the poison. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. There's that Storytelling's over. Off to kill another Jedi in a different episode, right? All right,
Yeah.
3 stars. I agree, if it's better, but I couldn't give it a 4th. I'm
No,
gonna
I'm
give it a
with you.
2-star.
I think for me it'd be 3 out of 5 on both the episodes as well, and it's for storytelling. And then honestly, as you were saying it, I kind of started thinking about it. Everything looks great that we're in, that we
Yeah.
see, all the scenes, all the production design is excellent from
Yep.
just a generic standpoint, but also
Yep.
it's totally it feels like it's almost too safe in that aspect of things too, where we haven't really. I don't feel like we've followed the characters anywhere yet. We're in a room here, we're in a spaceship here, we're outside over here, and it's just like a generic area for a second where it always looks great, like the production quality is there, but it just doesn't feel lived in. I don't
Yeah.
feel like the world feels very lived in.
You're
Maybe at the
living
very
in the
beginning
space.
with the
Yeah.
Carrie Ann Moss stuff, that feels more lived in. But right after that, show me more of the Jedi Temple. Show me people walking in the background. Don't show me just a class real quick and da da da. Oh, that's how I thought about Andor. I you know how I feel about Andor.
Andor got good, dude.
Damn right. And Justin
One
needs to
way
go
out.
finish it. Finish
Andy
it, Justin.
Serkis.
Please.
Andy Serkis, dude.
Please.
Anything with
Serkis
Andy Serkis, dude. I'm
Justin
telling
didn't make it to Andy Serkis. I don't think so.
you.
I think he
How
made it to
dare
3.
you give up? How dare you give up on Andor? I'm just saying that's the one show that I'd be telling someone, a Star Wars fan, I'd follow it all the way through. It talks about rebels and spies, and for a show that doesn't really dwell on the Force aspect of Star Wars, this is freaking mint.
Yeah,
It-
and it's not like mystical in the sense of Force stuff, but there's still
Yeah.
mystical things going on. There's mysticism going on, I guess.
Like,
But et cetera, et cetera.
oh man, what's his name? Oh, look, they just added in that spy in one of my favorite games, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. If you guys don't play it now. Add me. They added in the spy of that show. I'm gonna look him up real quick.
In Andor?
Yeah, Luthen.
Oh, cool.
Yes, he's one of the main supporting spies in this new game. But yes, it's definitely worth watching. Go watch Andor.
Well, you saw his response.
Then you'll never understand, man.
Do it for Mr. Sturkis. Do it for Andy. For Andy.
Do it
but
for
I heard they weren't
Caesar.
allowed to- for Caesar. Oh, yeah. I mean, I did go
Do
see
it for
Kingdom of
Snoke.
the Eighth the other day. It was-
You know, it's funny. He plays 2 Star Wars characters.
Sam Witwer, who we were talking about earlier, plays
Yeah,
Star
Darth Maul
Killer,
and Star Killer.
Darth Maul, Emperor
who?
Palpatine.
And what? Palpatine and what?
He voiced Palpatine, I believe,
In his game?
Rebels, and he did for both the. No, he might not have for Rebels, but I know he did for both of the Battlefront. games.
Oh, you know who he did? He did the Sun. He was the Sun.
And the Sun. There we go. I was like, "There's one more." I know there's one more.
Yeah, he was the Sun. Dude, he should have been cast as the Sun as well.
Mhm.
He should
Heard
just
they
be
weren't
all
allowed to use Yoda real quick. I think they're allowed to use Yoda, but they have to use him sparingly. I think that's like a rule for the High Republic. I'm speaking out my ass right now. I just don't quote me on that kind of stuff. I'm not entirely positive.
We just need a
But-
Yoda show, bro.
Well, honestly, why not utilize Yoda in a similar manner that you utilize? Because he does have such a long lifespan that you can utilize him as Darth Vader has been utilized recently in recent years, where, hey, little cameo here, pop him up here. Use him like Bruce from Jaws, that big old shark that, okay, maybe we don't see him all the time, but when we see him, he makes his freaking presence known, you know? I
Okay.
feel like if we did that for Yoda,
George
it'd be nice.
Lucas was, I don't want to cut you off. George Lucas was talking about how all the stories were told from a robot's perspective, right? And you know how Ahsoka was hanging out with what's his name? The robot was the guy who trains to get, or what's his name? Who makes all the lightsabers?
Oh, Professor Huyang.
Yes. What if you just did like a storyline with Yoda, in his youth, and then Hu Yang is there too, or like someone
Ooh.
with that the same longevity, you know?
Yeah,
With
give me Yoda and give me an anthology series of Yoda and Hu Yang. Maybe
you have
start
all
off
these
with Yoda a little
parallels.
younger.
You have R2D2 going through these generations with Anakin and Luke, and then you got him with Rey or whoever, right? I'm just saying. Like you could just have these robots throughout the time, right? Connecting with our favorite characters through their youth and through their age. And
That I think that's accurate because then you can go back. Well, you might not be able to go all the way Old Republic, but you can go
you could
throughout
go
the
all
High
the way back.
Republic.
But especially with Yoda, you could see everyone else, in their youth too. That's how you could do the prequels, and that's how you can set up new characters. I don't know.
I really like that idea, honestly. I think well, they have so many series in the works or not in the works or whatever the hell right now. We don't know what they're actually doing.
I mean, who? Wait, what's his name? The robot? Didn't he help find Yoda's lightsaber too? What if they just stuck around? Yeah, that's canon. Like they talked about it in when the younglings are finding theirs.
Mm-hmm. Well, because
Um,
he's an Old Republic droid, isn't he? Hu Yang.
yeah, but he said he helped find Yoda's lightsaber or crystal, kyber
Yeah,
crystal.
but Old Republic was pre Yoda.
But well, maybe I don't.
Right?
Am I crazy? Did he not say that in the Star Wars: The Clone Wars? He says, "I'll tell you the time I helped Yoda find his kyber crystal."
Oh no! I remember him saying that. Maybe even use Yoda like Darth Vader, but have a Professor Hu Yang anthology. A Professor Hu Yang anthology series would be cool. It would, and you could do it in live action because David Tennant voiced him now. So
Yeah,
that'd be
yeah.
interesting. Well, back to this real quick. Earlier, I did want to. This cracked me up. My girlfriend kept making ocean. The entire time I was watching the episodes, my brain's just going, doing the literal same thing. I really like Soul and the Padawan. Don't like Yord and don't like Bald Green Lady. Kind of indifferent to the two main characters played by the same actress. David, Justin, what do y'all think about this as well? Nick, what just character wise, yay or nay on all these folks?
Okay, so Yord is the guy Charlie Barnett who I met who is from Russian Doll. I would say I like his character and the fact that he was by Osha's side. He was like, "Hey, I followed her and checks out. She's not the bad guy." He means well. So I don't know. I think I'll give his character a chance just because I know the guy.
Yeah,
Soul and the Padawan, I do agree. Daphne Keene, her character, I will protect. Is freaking 100% great. You know. Green Lady, I agree with. I don't quite, have a liking towards her. She's not like my favorite character in the series, but let's see what she does in the next couple of episodes. If she's just ordering, barking orders, like kind of Mace Windu ish, and then comes clutch in the end, and something happens, I'll give her a little redemption arc. I don't
yeah.
see a lot. That's kind of what it looks like she's being set up to be. Is just, oh, we have to do this, we have to do that, we have to have a meaningful meeting, conversation about this. It's one of the lines she says, like, "Oh, we need to have a meaningful conversation." I'm like, "Oh,
It's
okay."
like, well, then do it.
I thought this was it. We're having this conversation. We got to talk about this later with the High Counselor or something. I don't know.
I can't remember. Her name is either Vernstra, something like that. I
It
know it starts with a
is
V.
Venestra.
Venestra. Okay.
Vernestra. Yeah.
Vernestra. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you on her in the sense of, well, also and kind of in the sense of Lee Jung Jae, and not obviously she's not learning English for the first time, but she doesn't have many emotions, and I guess that's partially the character in a way. Wait, hold up. Sorry. Talk for a second because my TV just went off of mute in the kitchen, and now I hear myself talking over there, and it's throwing me off.
You're good, dude.
One
All
second.
right, gotta take care of that. Yeah, earlier I was just saying I think she's a member of like the High Council who tries to influence other people on their actions on what to do. Like, oh, let's be cautious. Let's do this now. Let's think now and do this later. Kind of character. So we'll see if she'll get some action later.
The Vernestra.
Yeah, Vernestra. I
Yeah,
think at one point she's gonna be like, no, no, you guys aren't listening to me. Fine, I gotta take matters into my own hands and get involved, and we'll see a little action from her too. I don't, yeah,
well, I hope it's sooner than later because there's just not much going on with her, and that lack of emotion. And Hollywood's full of nepotism. Well, you cast people and you know people, and you cast them. It's just kind of how it works. It's how business works in every freaking job everywhere. There's just nepotism is part of business, But you, I do the thing that I think about when I see Vernestra on screen is I believe it's Leslie Headland, the director and showrunner. It's her wife. So it's like, okay, did you hire somebody that can truly act for this role, or did you hire somebody that, okay, now she's bringing in the paycheck as well, Uh, and I don't like to think like that, but if your actors aren't really giving you much to really hold on to, it's where the brain naturally goes. Um, Soul and the Padawan, though, we talked about Soul. I really do like the character as well. He just does. I don't think he's making the best decisions necessarily, or making logical decisions from the character standpoint that he would have. And then Padawan wise, I don't remember Daphne Keene's character's name off the top of my head, but I like her a lot so far. I just wish that instead of just being like the strong character in the back that says a good line or two and says this is that and that's this, I wish they would give her more action. She's such an action-oriented actress that I wish they would give her something to do, and not just exposition. I like, cool, have a droid for an exposition or something like that. Give Daphne Keene's far too talented of an actress, and I hope she gets her chance to shine.
we shall see. We shall.
We shall see. Now, did you say anything about Osha and May yet?
I didn't really. It hasn't already been said. I think Osha kind of just got caught in the middle of what May was up to, and she's taking the rap for it, and now they're kind of bringing her in to use. I'd say use her to get to her sister and uncover the bigger plot. So yeah, I think May. Finding out that, or actually for Osha, finding out that May is alive, it's pretty good. I see the connection they're trying to make. I think having it to be two sisters is an interesting take. How about you?
Well, trope again, as always. For this show, I guess we're just gonna have to get used to saying trope, trope, trope. Osha is Foxy. Osha is Amanda Stenberg is a very good-looking lady, and I like Osha's character. I do like the character, and Amanda Stenberg brings a lot to that character to not make her truly boring, but it's just just a generic. I hate to use the word again, but it's just a generic character. It's such a boring character. Like, oh, there's your main protagonist, nice no matter what, and has a little tiny droid on her, and did-a-dee, and I'm like, okay, come on, give me something fresh, And we're obviously not getting fresh with the amount of tropes that are happening. So I'm far more interested in May's story currently, but I feel like Osha's has more to run off of. I think I just feel like I'm far more interested in May's.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think I would prefer May currently, just because there's just more going on with her.
Oh, in terms of storytelling, 100%. Like, her character's got a lot more mystery. Obviously, everyone thought she was dead.
Yeah,
I mean, everyone's gonna have a million questions. Like, how are you alive? How have you been surviving? Who has been helping you, and why are you killing all these Jedi? Is, for starters, my main questions. For Osha, it's like, oh, so you didn't make it as a Jedi, huh? Anyway, why are you getting arrested?
Another question, just you made me think of right there, that I've been thinking about since the show aired was, you have acolytes or at least a group of people, and that are all coordinated, and they're setting up acolytes for maybe not a true Sith acolytes. Maybe it's a Sith cultist that's ahead of a Sith cult, and they need acolytes for the cult, and that's what they're doing. I don't know exactly where we're going or what we're doing.
Right.
They haven't given us anything to truly grasp on that aspect of things, and that's something that you need to be asking questions about from the get-go to intrigue your audience.
Yeah.
But that aside, I don't necessarily I'll blank myself. I'll start talking and then think about 4 different things.
No, you're good, dude.
Where did I start on that one? Somebody help me. My bad, y'all.
I can't tell you, man. Hold on, I gotta sneeze.
The second I get on it, I'll get right back on it. But I went off that horse. Get me back on it. Real quick, Yord though. Yeah. I do like Yord. I feel like he's Obi-Wan light in a lot of ways, or at least he's being presented as that kind of archetype of a character where it's like, okay, but we're gonna do it by the rule book. We got to do it by the book, kind of deal, and kind of stays in guidelines, kind of deal. I just hope that he doesn't end up being a little too golden retriever, because every time he's had an actionable thing, it ends up being given to another character. It's like, all right, I'm just about to do something. Actually, no, this person's in the right over here. Or, oh, no, okay, I got proven wrong. I get to be the fun little dumb character for half a second. I'm like, okay, that's okay. But give us something. Like, we need to know that if this guy's truly competent or not. Right now, I don't know if he has competence or not. And that doesn't allow me to actually have the characters.
You know what I want to see, dude?
Details,
You really want to. What I need is some chopped off limbs. Okay, I need someone to get their arm cut off and have a personal vendetta against the person who did it.
Did we have any action in episode 2?
If you can't remember, then I'm gonna assume no.
Because the only action I can think of is her trying to kill Corbin.
Yeah, that's it.
Punching the air, like
it was. That's why I said it couldn't be better than the.
Okay, the only action we did get was quote unquote action, not true action. I'd say was just getting the apothecary guy down and doing that. Knives are stronger than sabers. Well, of course they are. It only makes sense, right? But I don't know if he's the secret master of May, but I do like the idea of him pretending to be just a more meek kind of guy in the streets, like, oh, no, yeah. And then almost setting May up to be tested in a little bit as well. And I do think this is a big possibility. I think it's a big possibility. I hope it doesn't happen. But let me make sure. Chimere, that's the apothecary guy's name is Chimere.
Right.
Like the Game of Thrones character. I like the inkling of it, but if that's the case, I'm going to wish it was set up just a little bit better. It might not feel... I can already tell you that it wouldn't feel fully fulfilling if that were the case, and I don't know. I think that's the show's just going to struggle in a lot of ways in just that sense where it's like, are you fulfilled by the end of it? Can you be fulfilled? Obviously, we don't know the story yet, so fingers frickin' crossed. But man, the Soul May fight in episode 2 was great. Yeah, okay. That was our actual fight, and that was some great choreography as well. Okay, yep. Yeah.
So we got a little bit. Yeah, we got a little bit in there.
A little bit
for the second episode.
Not as much as we should, but
there will be more. There should be more in the episodes to come. That's all I have to say about that. Any final thoughts, Harris?
Well, a couple, maybe just a couple more plot points to go over.
Okay,
not a whole bunch. I think we're good on our bullet points for the most part. There's one or two maybe. We did. I knew we had some comment, and it was Justin's comment that we had to go back for. It wasn't terrible. I'll give the next episode a shot, but it needs to pick up. Also, it has a feeling of something we've already seen, and I'm not a fan of them recycling content. That I think the feeling of something that we've already seen is the fact that it's literally trope on top of trope on top of trope, mixed in with tropes in the storytelling, mixed in with a trope over here, trope of how you get to it. It's just a very tropey thing. So everything we've seen we've seen before. And it's not like they're doing it Quentin Tarantino Pulp Fiction style, where every scene from that movie you can find in another movie done in a just slightly different way. He added a creative aspect to it where they have almost, I feel like, have had to form fit their tropes to the Star Wars universe, and they're using Star Wars tropes as well. And it's just kind of it's not turned into a nothing burger, but it feels like there's nothing there to give us. And they haven't done a good job of doubling down and giving us something to latch onto in that void of all that. I know that was a big old ramble right there, but did that make any sense?
No, I follow.
Okay. But yeah, no, that I hope we get something good.
Any of the old
Oh,
nostalgia.
also Justin right
there?
here. Huh?
So yeah, we cut out for a second.
Oh, okay. Justin also said Soul and the other Padawan, they seem so useless and just set up to die. Let's just call it. The Jedi are the worst detectives in all movie history and laughable level on here. Like, come on. Like, we just had Andor, and I know you didn't finish Andor, but Andor is the perfect like murder mystery setup. Like, if you want to follow something, follow that. Like, that's I guess tonally they're trying to a degree, but yeah, I don't know. It just didn't do it for me. Real quick before we get into a couple other topics, just comments and stuff. Okay, real quick. I feel that, but they are doing this copy paste thing and pretty much all their content now, and I'm pretty over it all this at this time. Yeah, like we were talking about in what was like 2 months ago almost, that stream that we all did. We were discussing of how like Mando season 3 is essentially Bad Batch season 3 and so on and so forth, where it's just like father figure and character. In Bad Batch case, 4 or 5 father figures and character, and just how you work it in, and it's just kind of
right.
Rinse, repeat, and it's weighing down on us in a big way now, and not in a good way. Hopefully, they learn from that. Lucasfilm has not been great about learning from things in the recent years, but we hope they change their tune a little bit on that one. Yeah, so the only other bullet points I have over here for us is I guess we said we would double back on this one a little bit. Would be Bad Batch is almost an exact copy paste. Sadly, I love Bad Batch too, but it is copy paste. It's not. Whenever it wants to be creative and does creative things, it's excellent, and then it just fills itself up with bullshit as well. I don't get it, and the bullshit's not bad bullshit. It's just unequivocally bullshit. You know, there's no other way to really put that. Truly. So okay, I know we talked about it earlier about how they need to invest in characters first prior to killing them off. Like we have no emotional investment. It's cool. We see Carrie-Anne Moss in that first scene, and then you kill Carrie-Anne Moss, and it's like that works for a movie. And this is going to wind us into our last bullet point as well. Is if you're watching like The Hunt, that's just the first example. Emma Roberts, spoiler, sorry y'all, she dies. She's like the bigger actress in the movie, and they kill her immediately. Like the second they start doing their like most dangerous game kind of stuff, they kill her. You know, and it's to keep you involved in these other characters that they kind of use her to introduce you to very briefly, and then bites the dust. We didn't even get the other characters alongside Master and Dara, Carrie-Anne Moss, to latch onto. I know I keep saying latch onto. Find me better adjectives, y'all. I only know 4 or 5. But if they would have given us a couple characters that maybe May had to fight alongside Indara, and they survived, but maybe got knocked the hell out or something like that, that would be the character that we're like, okay, well, now we're identifying as an audience with that character, and that's who we want to know more about. That's who we want to follow alongside with. We didn't get any of that, and I think that's one of those things where they're trying to use a trope again and then play it far too safe instead of actually doing something creative or interesting or fun even, you know? It's just kind of, once again, it's not a nothing burger, but it feels like it kind of ends up being a nothing burger in a lot of ways. Off the soapbox again. You there?
Yeah, right here, man.
All right.
I'm just
Okay,
letting
well,
you get your spill out.
back onto the soapbox real quick is to just piggyback off of that. Should this have been made into a movie? I know we're only 2 episodes in, and there are 8 episodes total, so we have another month and a half. But just in the format of what we got, what we've been given so far, if you cut them both down into 20 minutes and 18 minutes, or 20 minutes and 15 minutes, or 20 minutes and 20 minutes, could you have a first act of a film and be much more satisfied? Because it's not like the series. I
So
know one
how
of the
many?
biggest gripes.
Why? How many episodes are we getting?
Eight total, and the longest episode I think is the first episode, and it was like 45 minutes, something like that. Like the longest episode's in the mid 40s, I believe.
Oh, okay. Well, I would have liked a lengthy movie, a lengthy Star Wars movie. Give me 2.5 hours of like the best footage, cut it down, or whatever you got to do, or
Because if we only
not cut
have
it at all.
3 or 3.5 hours of footage at the end of the day for the series, why not just cut it in a 2 hour 45 movie? Is my thought
Yeah.
process.
2:45. A lot of people go see it, get a lot of runtime, sell a lot of tickets.
Yeah, you get more money if you do it right. Obviously, people aren't. This one would have been hard for them to do a movie with, I guess, just with the way everyone thinks about Lucasfilm nowadays. But shoot, you gotta bring goodwill back somehow. And if you want to do something right, do a project correctly. And I'm worried that this one doesn't have just enough to really bring it home. I hope they do, and I hope they're saving everything for that bring it home. But then again, why did you save it all? You don't need to save it all. You need to sprinkle it throughout, kind of deal.
Right.
After I started saying it, I think they probably would have lost money as well. But just numbers wise, in the sense of time spans, it just makes more sense. No movie, no movie, no movie. Well, that answers that. Two in a
Fine,
row.
no movie. Stick to your TV shows, man. Wait every week for another
David
episode.
does live like an hour and a half away from the nearest movie theater, so he gets a break on that one. But everybody else, movies, please, movies.
Well, that you can plan for, though. I mean, like you got months and like a year or two in advance to go to the. You just camp out the day before.
Yeah, interesting.
I don't know.
It's screwy, but yeah,
Have your friend that lives down the street like freaking record it from the inside and send it to you later. Pirate that shit. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that.
Here, can you
What's
talk
up?
for just a second? I have someone knocking on my door real quick. I'll be right back.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So the fitness gram pacer test is a. Can you imagine just start talking about the fitness gram pacer test? Everyone is a fitness test that'll. What else do we talk about? Okay, the next Star Wars show coming out. What's the next Star Wars show coming out right after that? Anyone know? Visions came out a while ago. That was pretty good. Possibly Vision season 3. That'd be cool. Anyone thinking Book of Boba Fett 2? Is anyone like waiting on the edge of their seat for another Book of Boba Fett? I like to see more Mandalorians for sure. See, we got one season of Tales of the Jedi. We got Tales of the Empire. I'm going to see Tales of the Republic, where they're actually getting the kids, right? They're taking them from their homes, being trained as Jedi, and do one like Ponkrell, where he just goes rogue, and it's like, you know what? I'd rather be a separatist. Spaceballs 2. I'm kidding. No, that'd be cool. Has anyone seen Spaceballs? My sci-fi people. If you haven't, it's Mel Brooks. 100%. You should watch it. Harris is going to be like, I'm never leaving Nick alone with my chat again. Ever. He gave me a lot of free time. Wow. Ahsoka season 2, maybe not. Would you guys like to see Ahsoka season 2? You know, if we're talking about Bad Batch and Mandalorian and father figures, I can kind of agree it's all a little repetitive. And I'll give my thoughts about Bad Batch. I was a little disappointed they didn't explore more of the cloning process. Oh yeah, spoiler alert! If you haven't seen Bad Batch season 3, you're too late because I'm gonna be spoiling for you. So, yeah, they kind of wrapped it up. Omega and the rest of the Bad Batch get the clones out of what is it called? I'm trying to remember the facility, but anyway, they escape the cloning facility. Um, I just wish that they had explained a little bit more about the midichlorian counts, and how, like, they were gonna try and clone like force sensitive like bodies for the Emperor, right? Because that's what happens. That's the whole point of like the sequels, right? Somehow Palpatine's return. That somehow is Bad Batch season 3 trying to explain it. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. I was disappointed with Bad Batch season 3 because they didn't explore enough of the cloning process with the bodies, like the force sensitive bodies. How much more do we need to know about the cloning? It's all in Mando. You got a point there. But like I want to see just I don't know, just a little bit more in the Bad Batch.
I, did you talk about how Bad Batch ended?
Yeah, because they were taking blood samples from all those kids, right? I want to see them do something with that, you know? I want to see like bodies of the Emperor just like lined up or something, you know? And they're trying to inject it into him or something. I don't know. Copy paste, guys. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
Cloning is like 50% of all sci-fi, my guy.
Yeah. I mean, media in general. But the Bad Batch season 3, both the way it ended made me roll my eyes a little bit. I actually really did like the way it ended. It's not the most original story by any means, sure, but I did really enjoy it nonetheless. I was surprised, and it made me roll my eyes a little bit because I'm like I have unanswered questions that I would like to have answered, but I was also very happy and pleasantly surprised that they didn't set up another show. It was literally just like Omega's like, I'm going to the Rebels, I'm out, you know, and it was like she's 10 years, 12 years older, 8 years older, whatever it might be, and that I appreciated in a big way. It was like, okay, cool. We don't need to set up another show right now.
Right.
You can let this be its own show, breathe a little bit, sit still, and just be. And that's what we need. Is just something that can just sit there and just be. And the rest of the show is not like that. But the way it ended was beautiful in that sense, and I was very happy about that. I was very appreciative.
Oh, we love the happy endings. We were just talking in a sense of, oh, the father figure protecting the child, copy paste, kind of recycle, reuse, Star Wars stuff that they've been doing. Seeing Asajj Ventress in there was really cool. What? Same bounty hunter, same Grogu as Omega. Asajj is okay. Yep.
Well, Asajj isn't necessarily Ahsoka for Omega. I think they showed that she definitely had the potential to be there.
Right.
But then they show her 8, 10, 12 years in the future, and she hasn't. I guess we don't know. She could totally have been training the entire time, but I don't know. I'm interested to see, and those are the unanswered questions. But also, I'm happy they just left it where they did. Just let it breathe and sit, which is cool. Because shit, nothing knows how to do that nowadays, especially Lucasfilm or just Disney related things. I mean, it's so IP oriented that like if it's an IP, what's next? What's next? What's next?
Right.
It's like, okay, there's room for that, and there will be that, but let this project sit.
You want to hear something kind of crazy that they could 100% bring tech back? They could always bring back characters, but I think that this was a funny way. You know how Ahsoka got pulled from the portal? What
Yeah.
if there's a portal? What if there's just a portal just waiting down there for him, and he just lost his glasses, and that's all they found, and then he's just off in some other world, like with Ezra, and I don't know. I'm just saying.
I mean, it'd be it'd be a little copy paste, but it'd be
like
fun.
it's another copy paste, but it's never 0%. Like it's always
No.
1. It's always 1%. Like Disney could always pull that hat trick again.
I can imagine another like 10 years, just a little older Omega again.
Somehow
then-
tech has returned.
Well, the rest of the Bad Batch are like really old, and then you get them like their final like Old Man Logan or Old Man Hawkeye kind of deal, and like
And then
kill
Tech
'em
just
off.
shows up all like in his youth.
Kill him off in the process, then open up the world between worlds at the end, and then she saves Tech, and then Tech is like her age now, and it's almost more like a brother and a father. In some sense.
Oh my god, that would be so like. I mean, that goes deep. I never watched Star Wars again if they did that. Justified MF, it's gonna happen, my guy. I'm gonna become the CEO of Disney, and I'm gonna write that for you.
Just for Justin.
Just for him.
It's necessary. And we're going to go ahead and while we're heads of Disney over here, we're going to say Andor gets 17 season run. Just for Justin.
All the spies. All
the spies. Every spy Star Wars has ever had will have an Andor season.
We're talking spies from the sequels, spies in the original trilogy, spies in the prequels, everything. All
and you can make it all work through the world between worlds, of course.
17 seasons, 100 years. Andor.
It's literally the Rick and Morty. 100 years, Rick and Morty.
100 years, Andor. Don't hate
We
you. We just
see
pick on you
enjoy it so much.
for
Andor
indulging us.
content. I
Feel
don't
the
know.
flame, bro. It's gonna get bigger.
Feel the flame. Real quick,
All right,
did we
bro.
miss any
Do
chats
we have
earlier?
more? What's up?
Did we miss
No.
any chats earlier? Did the guys really need binoculars to look across the road? No. Off topic, Doctor Who has been great this season. New episode tomorrow. I have heard nothing but awful things. And that's from Jay, Chaz, Matt. Even Matt hasn't even enjoyed the recent stuff. What's been good about it? I guess, and also what's been bad about it. But also, Nick, if I didn't mean to cut you off. If you need to get out of here, you can go whenever you need.
Yeah, man. Is there anything else you wanted to wrap up with, or
Just shooting the shit, hanging out for a little bit, and then we'll call it a day.
when is the next feedback podcast of Acolyte? When are we doing this again, my guy? Episode 3, Afterthoughts.
Let's do another Afterthoughts. Let's do it on the day that we meant to do it last time. Do we want to do it the day of or the day after?
Let's do it the day of. Let's just do
Okay,
it the day
because
of.
we might do a watch party the day of next week. So
Okay.
afterwards, let's do an Afterthoughts. I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 hours after it's aired.
Sounds good to me. Let's do it.
Yeah, so Tuesday next week. Justin, if you want to come do that, you're more than welcome to come hang out too. Hopefully Melvin will be here. I talked to Aaron about doing some stuff too, and then hopefully we'll have maybe Matt
Only
or
people
Jay
who
or
have
somebody.
gone through at least 5 episodes of Andor can attend.
It's a require. I didn't make this requirement, but apparently
We will tally it up, and we will be asking you specific questions of what happened in Andor. Like which spy betrayed which spy?
The only question that is more pressing than that: do Wookiees shit in the woods, or do they have a working plumbing system? Inquiring minds. They need to know. Hey,
Well-
Justin's made it through 6. He can do it.
You've gone through 6. I said 5 more, sir. 5
shit.
more.
The Doctor Who episodes have just been getting progressively better as the season progresses. The only
Okay.
negative I've heard at all has been from Jay, who didn't even finish the first episode, which wasn't as good. Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, maybe it is getting a little bit better. We have a video we're supposed to get from Jay today, I believe, maybe tomorrow, that will be about Doctor Who, and we'll edit it and get it out hopefully the next day or so, maybe 2 days. And yeah, I'm intrigued to hear what he's saying. I don't know if he's been keeping up with it.
That's
But
cool, man.
yeah,
All
yeah, interesting. You know what? I could use a good nap. I'll throw it on. Come on.
All right. Well, have a good rest of your show, my guy, M Cubed. I will see you guys at the next episode, the next Afterthoughts. Thanks for having me. Peace out.
Yes, sir.
Have a good
And
day.
if you're in Los Angeles this weekend, which nobody in this
Yes.
chat is, but if you're watching this,
Sunday. We
This
are
Sunday,
opening at the
I
Hobgoblin
am
Theater.
directing and producing a play that Nick is in, and he's got a couple great sketches in there. And
At the French ceremony, some good,
Be a lot of
clean,
fun.
some fun coming your way. Coming anyway.
I don't know if I've shown everybody on here the frickin' poster.
It's all shits and giggles until you giggles and shits.
There may be a half-naked me on the front of it, or fully naked with a towel in front of me.
Viewer discretion be advised.
Yes, this one is an explicit. I was going to say expletive.
It's
There we
very
go.
expressive.
English
Explicit,
language.
Explosive.
Hey, thank you, man. Yeah, no, we're pumped about it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have it going for the entire month of June out here, and hopefully we'll win an encore performance or two and get a little bit more, get a couple more performances. Naked and afraid.
I'm a
Always.
star. You don't understand. I'm a star. All right, guys. I'll see you later.
See you, brother. Doctor Who has been getting slated. Is that like bad? Am I just blanking on some terminology? Is slated bad? No say. Ow! This cat is in. Oh my god! I'm wearing a black shirt, and now it's just a cat hair shirt. I've got a ball of a cat currently. Tiny as hell, balled up in a pair of hands. Poor reviews slated. Okay, cool. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, I even outside of Jay, I haven't heard anybody online in general say anything. I haven't heard any tweets be good about it or anything. I haven't heard anything besides negative reception. Now, but you gave me some positive reception, which is good. I like hearing positive stuff. But I guess why would people feel the way they're feeling? I guess, Mark, is it the quote unquote woke aspect of things, or is it just like, has it just not been written well? Is it focusing on certain things over storytelling? I guess. Why are people feeling the way they are, and what makes you say otherwise? Now type it all really fast, but 4 paragraphs, so we have something to talk about. Shoot, yeah, no, I've been intrigued with it. I really want to watch. I know it's not Doctor Who, but the Orville, and I know they're in kind of a similar kind of thing. Strange. I've heard nothing but praise. Interesting. I don't know. I tend to be all over the interwebs, and I haven't heard much. Poor rating, poor acting. The acting is what people have been saying that I've heard is just like, obviously there's the writing and the wokeness to it that people are kind of thrown off by, per se, I guess. But the poor rating and the poor acting is what I keep hearing. It's just like, it's not up to snuff, you know. But I do love Kurigawa, and he is an excellent actor whenever he's doing things that he's good at. So I don't know, man. That's an odd one for me. I don't know where to think. The last 2 episodes didn't have much Kurigawa. Oh, the last 2 episodes didn't have much. Kurigawa has been a complaint, but that's because he was busy filming Sex Education Season 2 during those 2 episodes filming. Interesting. Okay. Calico, this cat right here. She's purring and cooing over here. Yeah. I don't know, man. Doctor Who just it's always intrigued me, and it's never grasped me enough to make me really want to like dive into it. I debated starting Star Trek, but then I was like, maybe I should start some Doctor Who from like the original, like OG. I haven't been able to get myself to click either one just yet. I don't know. I am gonna click something. I am gonna click today is, hopefully I can find the time to today, is watch an episode or two of Sweet Tooth on Netflix. Have any of y'all ever seen Sweet Tooth? I actually really like it. It's a DC comic. It's technically and technically not an Elseworlds at the same time, because it's not like an Elseworlds superhero, but it's in the DC Comics universe without truly pertaining to DC Comics characters. Kind of like how Sandman works within everything, or kind of how the Watchmen are their own little part, like their own sub pocket of the DC Comics world. Sweet Tooth is kind of equal in that sense. It's on that same pedigree, same level. And I freaking love the show on Netflix. It's third and final season, and I'm sad to see it go. I'm really sad to see it go. Oh my god, I just got a cat claw to the stomach. I was getting dog claws in my arms and my legs earlier, and cat claws to the stomach now. It's been an interesting morning, and tech difficulties, of course. I have not. Where's it streaming? It's a Netflix show. It's Netflix. It's got I think, I can never say his name. Ananzi Alonso, I believe is the guy's name. Huge, hulking dude, but he's a great freaking actor, and he's been in a couple of other different things. Nonzo Ananzi, good lord, Nonzo Anozi, that's it. Oh my god, I just had a cat use my leg like a freaking scratching post for a second there. Did y'all see this little crackhead back here? She was just rolling around like a freaking pig in mud in that chair, and that's right after she decided to jump out of my lap and use me as a freaking tree to climb down. Ow. Yeah, I'm bleeding on my freaking leg in a couple spots. Great. Anyway, Sweet Tooth. It's a great show. The premise of it, I'll give you just the simplest of premises, is it is essentially a post-apocalyptic show. So if you watch Fallout, it's not the same, but it's similar vibes. A good thing to kind of piggyback off of. It is a post-apocalyptic world where the reason the apocalypse has happened is a medical reason. The vast majority of human beings being born on the planet are no longer truly human beings, but are now hybrid human beings with an animal of some sort. And, you might get a half crocodile person. Yeah, the main character is Gus, who's half human, half deer. They're, not necessarily half and half, but has, I guess, attributes of an animal onto their human characteristics as well. And, of course, all these different characters have different levels, varying levels of animalistic qualities. So you get some people that are far more human than they're animal, and some people are far more animal than human, but most of them are all children. So it only happens, or they are all children, excuse me, because we're only about 10, 12, 13 years past the apocalypse. So it's the dying off humans that are worried about getting sick, getting a plague sickness or some kind of worried sickness kind of deal, while also having to show some compassion to the new age of terrestrial life, but also being terrified that it's going to knock out the human populace. So it's a moral kind of choice where these are our children. These are Earth's children. We as humans produce these things. Do we help them, or hey, they're making us sick and they have killed off the majority of our population? Maybe we should fight back a little bit. It's like, do we lean into Mother Nature, or do we lean away from Mother Nature? It kind of plays into that a little bit. Not in a whole bunch. It's not overt in any ways like that, but in the trailers, he has antlers. He does have antlers, yes. It's an excellent show. I don't know if I've sold you on it or not, but it is excellently done. It's both YA and a little bit more mature than YA, and also it fits a younger audience as well. I feel like a younger audience would be fine watching it, like little kids in a way, because they're like, oh, look at all these fun kids that are half animals. You're YA, you're kind of like just young adult, your teens or your 20s. It's perfect for them, and even when you're older, I think it's a perfect audience as well for your 30 plus range. I think maybe the hardest age group to hit would be like the 60 plus, and still I don't know why they wouldn't enjoy it. My dad watches it and he's 65 and loves it. So check it out. Check it out. And we might talk about it, actually. That might be a fun thing to talk about because it is a little sciencey to a degree. To a degree. There's a whole scientist main character. A couple of them, actually. If y'all want to talk about that on Sidetrack, y'all let me know. And I will do some stuff about that, honestly. But if that'd be a fun thing to talk about, y'all put some stuff in like one of those community posts or something like that. I'll post about some stuff in the next day or two, and we'll figure some stuff out. Still need to go watch Scavenger's Reign, but heard it got canceled. No! No! It got freaking canceled! No way! What the shit? That's so depressing. That's... No, please do watch it. Please do watch it. I don't know if it might not be my favorite singular season of something that's ever been made, but it's real close up there. It is really close up there. It is easily the most creative of a season of something that I've ever witnessed. I adore that show. And that just made me so sad. Please watch it, David. You'll love it. You'll love it. It's on Max or Netflix now. I saw that it got on Netflix. I was hoping that was going to be like, hey, let's give it another season. That's so disappointing. That just made me so sad. David, you done got me for the day. But I got Sweet Tooth to bring it back up. We're good. Damn. No. Nothing to be sorry about. And that sucks because you will love the show. It is literally I don't know how else to say it because it sounds like I'm just like hyperbolating like nobody's business. Oh, it's the best, this or that. It truly is the best. And there have been some amazing things recently, like 1883 is probably still my favorite miniseries I've ever seen. Shogun was probably the best singular season of an actual television series I've ever seen. I was going to say it replaced 1883 as my favorite miniseries, and then they renewed it for seasons 2 and 3 already, and I don't know how to feel about that. I'm excited and also very trepidatious. But Scavenger's Reign, that's something that I don't think something sat with me like that since the first time I watched Fantastic Planet. And obviously that's kind of at your own pace since it came out 60 years ago, 70 years ago. But Fantastic Planet is just so uniquely creative and weird, and any and every word that fits in those two synonyms, it succinctly holds square. And I think Scavenger's Reign is almost a spiritual successor to that 2 generations later. It's so good. It's so good. That's so sad. I'm going to go to Sunset Boulevard, whatever the hell, I think it's Santa Monica, excuse me, and go to Raleigh Studios where Netflix is, and I'm going to go bang on the doors until they just get so annoyed that they have to renew that freaking show. Because, good God, it's good. It's so good. Damn. Anybody else got anything exciting or fun or anything else to make me sad real quick? If not, I think I might go ahead and start heading out. Got a couple different things I got to get doing today, and we do have a video that we're going to try to get on Sidetrack here soon. I'm kind of helping out while Jamie's a little sickly at the moment, and we'll hopefully get something out to you by the end of the day, U.S. time. So, like, end of the night, UK time. or like early morning, one or the other that way. But one way or another, we got some stuff coming for you. I'm gonna try to get this edited down to a degree, and maybe we will put some of it up on Sidetrack. But we will see how that goes as well. And y'all keep your eyes, keep your ears, keep your noses posted. If you smell us, then something's wrong. But if you hear us or if you see us, come say howdy. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you for coming in and talking and hanging out a little bit. It's fun to have every opinion under the sun, you know, and we might be a little more positive on it. You're not positive by any means, and you want good Star Wars, and that's what we all can want, you know. It's just nice to try to talk it out and figure out how we get back to that point as a fan base, as a community, whatever the hell you want to call us. Lucasfilm, just listen, watch us all. Don't get upset about things. Just I'm trying to be constructive criticizers here, you know? Come on, Lucasfilm. Great seeing you, David. Thank you. Are there I can't even speak now. Are the Sidetrack Sunday live streams not a thing anymore? Hardly anything been on Sidetrack lately. Well, we've been trying to get it moving again a little bit. I wanted to do one this past Sunday, but we had a dress rehearsal for the play that I was talking about that I'm directing and producing. It just didn't work out. This Sunday, though, I do plan on it, and I was hoping Melvin was going to be here because I wanted to tell Melvin to come hang out. But we're going to do a Sidetrack Sunday this Sunday, and hopefully from every Sunday from here on out. Of course, if things don't happen, they don't happen. But we will. We're getting that back in the works. I don't know if it's going to be our normal 4 that join, but if not, it might be me, Melvin, and Aaron. It might be me, Melvin, Aaron, and Jay. It might be me, Jay, Stormy, and Melvin. It might be me. Whatever it may be, come hang out. We'll be there. We'll be talking all kinds of stuff. We'll probably just do a fun, hangout live stream unless there are truly things to discuss. If there are things to discuss, if we have topics, we'll do that, of course. But hey, one way or another, we want to hang out, so we're gonna hang out. I had fun. I just like the banter. I won't ever try to be disrespectful or rude to others' opinions. 1,000%. Yeah, the banter is the best part because that's how you work through stuff, And disrespectful or rude to others' opinions. Lucasfilm, what'd you say? Maybe they'll learn from. I was gonna say our wise youth opinions. Seems like Jay has been focusing on his new channel and ignoring Sidetrack. LOL. I meant to click on that, but clicked on that. Well, not really. He's gonna put Doctor Who stuff back on Sidetrack. I think he's kind of using that for everything besides Sidetrack. And he had a couple weeks of some personal stuff going on. And that's when he was kind of doing Jay's talks more, because he didn't know if he wanted to put stuff that might not be fancy enough to put on Sidetrack or proper enough, I guess. You know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, but we're back on it. Jay has had. I don't want to say much. I don't know how much I can say, and I don't want to, be disrespectful of his own personal stuff. But he's had some personal stuff go on, a couple little health issues, and he might not be on the channel for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it may be. We're going to be filling in the void a little bit and trying out a couple new things, so that's going to be fun. So come by, support us. Make sure you give us good constructive criticism because we like to take it, unlike Lucasfilm. What? No, but really, come by, hang out. We'll be doing a bunch of stuff hopefully in the next coming weeks, and we're going to be filling in that beautiful void that our British man has left. But that's it from me, y'all. That's it. I don't have anything else for y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. We have some fun graphics for that coming up soon, which will be nice. I'll be there. We love you, David. Yeah, that's it, y'all. I hope y'all have a fantastic rest of your day. Go make it great. Go do something fun. Go do something stupid. Go do something silly. But as long as you have a good time doing it, this is what matters. And I'll see y'all next video. See y'all.